Hello again. It's day 8 of my 12-day UK metal detecting tour. If you didn't get a chance to see the last episode, which was day 7, please check it out. I had my most spectacular find of the entire trip in day 7. Now, I still have some excellent finds to come, but day 7 was special. So please, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's the Careful What You Wish For treasure. For those of you who have been following along and watching these episodes, or some or all of them, thank you so much for your support. It's really fulfilling to see that people are watching, enjoying, sometimes commenting, giving thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribing. Really appreciate that. And just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button on your mobile phone or YouTube, however you're watching this. Really do appreciate that support. Now, today's field has all the characteristics of being a great field. It's just walking distance down the lane from this centuries-old structure. There's a history of artifacts of all periods coming off this field. And the tour director tells us it's being freshly plowed. So everything's aligned for great success. However, I would term this field as an enigma. And in this episode, you'll see why. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode. It's not a very long one. And we'll talk about it and some of the finds at the end. So thanks again. Enjoy. It's day 8, and this is the kind of field you only dream about. Just recently rolled. In fact, the farmer's still out here working it. A lot of interesting items have come off this field. Celtic, Roman, medieval, you name it. We're eager to get on, find some really cool stuff. So let's see what we can find today. Well, not everything out here is ancient. Just found one of these with a cattle tag. On to the next. Thank you, Tekkna. Just when I think I'm not finding anything and today's a disaster, I find my second find in about 15 minutes. And this is a beautiful buckle, missing the pin, but definitely old medieval, maybe older. We'll have Steve take a look. A really beautiful find. So when I came in for lunch, this was my haul. And you can see I did a lot of digging. Now, sometimes when detecting, we're really in beautiful locations. So we have this fantastic field surrounded by trees. And I just wanted to show you what's growing alongside the field. This is a farmer who is very committed to the natural cycle and really thinking about how to best provide for the crops with local pollinators. So what you have here is just an incredible field filled with wildflowers and pollinators of all types. Butterflies, bees, moths, you name it. Filled with color, filled with flowers, filled with diversity, biodiversity. Really gorgeous field alongside the main planting field for crops. So I just wanted to give you a sense for some of the beauty that we see almost every day when we're out working on some of these fields. Well, it's nearly the end of day 8, and it's been a long, frustrating day. We're on a field that's been just plowed. It's like digging at the shore. The soil is beautiful, very sandy, and the coins that come out are spectacular. Let me give you a sense. I found early on a George V penny. You can see here, just a beautiful patina, as if it were minted yesterday. And that's the way these come out of the ground when you can find nice things. So I found that this morning. I found halfpenny this morning as well, George V, and a nice ship on the back. And that was pretty much it. This afternoon I found what I thought was a hammered coin because it's tacoed
but it turns out to be a George V copper coin that is tacoed. Can't see the date on it. It's on the inside of the coin. Interesting nonetheless. And really been struggling out here the rest of the day, digging up shotgun shells and fighting off black flies. It's also one of the warmest days of the tour here. So not used to sweating while I'm detecting, but I'm sweating today. And lo and behold, in this hole here, I I changed my program from sensitive high tones, which has done very well for me all week long, to Tekkna, just for a change of pace because I really wasn't hearing anything special, digging shotgun shell after shotgun shell after shotgun shell. And right here, nearly it's 3:40, so nearly at the end of our day, I found my first hammered. So after 12 hammers in 6 days, and then no hammers yesterday, but I did get that beautiful silver brooch. Today, back on the hammers. It's a cut half, but it's beautiful. Let's take a look. And here it is, right on my shoe print. See the hammer there. I don't know how to read it, so we'll have Steve, the expert, take a look at it, but it is in great shape. Both sides, very readable. And yeah, it's a pity it's not complete, but finding these halves and even quarters are really a challenge because they're so small. But they are considered hammers nonetheless, and I'm very happy to add 13th to the collection.
Well, day 8 is in the books, and what a frustrating day. The field we were on was beautiful. It had just been freshly plowed, but the soil was light and sandy. By disturbing the compaction of the soil, it actually made detecting a bit harder, more challenging. Not to mention, we had shotgun shells. On this particular field, more than 700 shotgun shells were dug by the team. I personally had 71. I counted them afterwards, 71 shotgun shells, which is tedious work. As a result, finds board doesn't reflect a lot, but let's take a look at day number 8. Right, for day number 8, well, we had some cattle tag and a really beaten up button. There weren't many buttons out there, actually. It just had one small, plain cuff button and a little rosette, which is a little sweet thing, attachment from something, whether it was horse tack or something older, hard to say. I've had some modern coinage, including a George V penny, a George V halfpenny with a nice ship on the reverse there, 1944, and unusually a George V coin that's tacoed. Don't ask me how, but it was. And then finally, in the last hour of detecting today, I managed to get my one only hammered silver of the day. It's a cut half of Henry III. The moneyer is Nicole, and it's a long cross. So yeah, that was the highlight of my day. I found this 12th, 13th century medieval buckle, which is quite nice as well. Literally about 25 feet apart. And that made my day because aside from shotgun shells, the finds were pretty meager. Sometimes a field looks so good, it almost looks delicious. And that was the case on this field. It was just freshly plowed, looked so promising, and yet it was an enigma. And I think in retrospect, it was that because it was freshly plowed, the soil was a bit fluffy, and so there was more air, more less compaction in that soil, made it more difficult to find some of the smaller targets. Nonetheless, that Henry III was a great find. It was a half cut. Henry III was an interesting monarch. His reign started when he was 9 years old, and he ruled for 56 years. He was one of the longest reigning British monarchs. The only monarchs who served longer were Queen Elizabeth II, Victoria, and George III. So it was great to find the beautiful cut half. And tomorrow we're off to another field. So please stay tuned for the next episode. We actually have some very interesting finds coming up, including some interesting artifacts from Viking and Saxon period. So stay tuned to the last few episodes because, frankly, every day brought some new discoveries. So check it out. Enjoy the next couple of episodes till we count down to episode number 12. Thanks again for watching and for your support. Good luck on your metal detecting journeys. And as I always say, may all your tones be high tones. See you next time.